Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today, I will present to you the terrestrial adaptation of bryophytes. Let's go. Okay, for the first two adaptation, we have multicellular dependent embryo and also water conservation by the waterproof cuticle. Okay, for the first one, multicellular dependent embryo, and this is the life cycle of the bryophyte. So for the further explanation, we go through the video.
Hello, today I just wanted to go over the basic life cycle of bryophytes. This would be things like moss. And remember, moss do not grow very tall. They lack the vascular tissue and the lignin material, so you're never going to see them very, very tall. Alright, so usually when we see moss, we will see it look like this. Obviously it would be in a big, large carpet type material, and they're not very tall. And we have actually male and female type plants. And these guys, they like to live in wet environments, and the reason why they have to live in wet environments is because of the sperm that the male produce. They will actually swim over to a female, and that is a very important part of why they have to be in water, is because of their reproduction. If they can't reproduce, they're not going to survive very long. And of course, when the sperm, this is all in the gametophyte stage, and as the sperm swim over to the female egg, which is at the very top of the female moss, it will fertilize the egg, and that first cell, as we know, will be called a zygote. It'll go through mitosis, and then out of the very top of the female will grow this thing called a capsule. This is in the sporophyte stage. So it has a complete number of chromosomes during this stage. And the capsule up here at the top of the females will be producing a bunch of spores. And at some point they will burst open. The wind will carry those spores. They will land all over the forest. But if they land in a nice wet environment, they will grow up and become male and female gametophytes once again, and the life cycle will just keep repeating.
For the second adaptation, we have water conservation by cuticle. So it is like a plant cuticle that protect the outer layer of the bryophyte. So cuticle is a wet sea covering over the epidermis of aerial parts that prevent desiccation, that is water loss. That's all for the first two. And for the third and fourth adaptation, we have wall spores produced in sporangium and the presence of multicellular gametangium. For the next one, we have wall spores produced in sporangia. Let's go. Wall spores produced in sporangia. The sporophyte produce spores in organ called sporangia. Diploid cell called sporocytes undergo meiosis to generate haploid spores. And lastly, spores walls contain a sporopollenin, which makes them resistant to harsh environments. And for the last one, presence of multicellular gametangium. First of all, gametangia is a plant sex organ. It consists of two parts. There is a protective outer layer of sterile, that is non-reproductive cell, and the second one is gametes, the sperm or the egg cell. As you can see on the picture, there is C and D. C is male gametangium, there is antheridium that bears numerous sperm cells, and for D, it is female gametangium, cause archegonium bears a single egg cells. And this is the picture of gametangium. It consists of three main parts. There is oospores, oogonium, and antheridium. For oospores part, we got epispore, endospores, ooplast, lipid globules, nuclear spot. And for oogonium, we have apiculus. Antheridium, we got fertilization tube. And for adaptation, now I added some additional info. Did you know that bryophytes are widely used as bioindicators of environment for their unique capacity to absorb the pollutants and exhibit specific response to even the slightest of environmental change? This bryophyte will help us to reduce the pollution of the earth and save our earth. Other than that, bryophytes are also used for cure hepatic disorder, skin disease, cardiovascular disease, and used as antibiotic, antimicrobial, and wound healing, and many more. That's all for the content and for the conclusion. As for conclusion, we know that there are 4 adaptation of bryophyte. There is water conservation by cuticle, presence of multicellular gametangium, wall spores produced in sporangium, and lastly multicellular dependent embryo. That's all from me. Thank you.